as we are moving ahead with introducing our next session speakers, the panelists, and the session shall be moderated by Srimati Bindhu Menon, and she comes with the professional expertise in sales, operations, marketing, home, corporate training, life skills, campus recruitment training, train the trainer, and event consulting. She is a national sales leader and has worked with the learners of all ages, offering consulting and supportive approaches to improve teaching and learning outcomes. Her training style is experiential, incorporating design thinking, psychology, transactional analysis, and futuristic L&T tools. Ms. Bindhu Menon, may I humbly request you to kindly join with us on the stage, please. All right, I assume she will be joining with us in a short span. So now going ahead to be, yes, ma'am, kindly join with us on the stage, please. And now going ahead to be introducing the next panelist, Mr. Vivek Krishna Govind, who is the senior partner at Varma and Varma Chartered Accountants and president-elect of the TAI Kerala. He has held the leadership roles, including president of Kerala Management Association, chairman of the ICAI Ernakulam, and chairman of Young Indians. He represented India at the G20 summit in 2015 and was nominated among the top 50 youth icons of Kerala. Mr. Vivek is also a certified information system auditor and has served on various national and regional bodies. Passionate about social causes, he is a trustee of the Cancure Foundation and has a keen interest in sports and culture. Shri Vivek Krishna Govind, thank you so much for joining with us. It's a great pleasure to be having you here with us today. And now going ahead, next we have Mr. Johnson Mathew, the Honorable Chairman of NIPM Kerala Chapter, who is a passionate HR professional with 34 years of experience in human resources management, and he holds a postgraduate degree in the personal management and industrial relations from Rajgiri Business School, Kochi. And he has worked with the organizations like Indian Aluminium Company, Tata Telecom, Popular Vehicle Services, and EVM Motors. May I humbly request you as well to join to our stage, sir. Thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of this session. Up next, we have Ms. Laila Sudeesh, the managing partner of Care for You Facility Management Services, a leading maintenance and cleaning company in central Kerala. She's also actively involved in the family business Power Mech Diesels, India's top dealer of Kirloskar generators for 7 consecutive years, and oversees the distribution of safety products from brands like 3M and Malcolm. She holds an MPA, PGDCA, and a gold medal in zoology. And thank you so much, ma'am, for being an active participation, agreeing to do your active participation in the session. And with that, humbly inviting on to the session, we have Mr. Vikas Agarwal, an executive director at the BNI Trivandrum, who is a marketing specialist, serial entrepreneur, mentor, and public speaker with a postgraduate degree in management from NIPM Mumbai. At 23, he joined his family's commodity trading business and scaled it to 100 crore turnover in just 5 years. He later ventured into furniture manufacturing, produced a Malayalam movie, and founded multiple businesses including Art Interiors, BNI Trivandrum, and Milagro Industries LLP, and the past president of the Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Thank you so much, Mr. Vikas Agarwal, for your valuable time. And lastly, joining with us, we have Shri Bibu Punnooran, the founder and director of Medivision Scan and Diagnostic Research Center Private Limited, with 80 branches across Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka. Co-founded in 1993, Medivision became the first comprehensive diagnostic center in Kerala by 1997. He also leads the Grace Globe Consultants, WIH Hospitality, and Perfect Holidays in HR Consultancy, Geriatric Care, Medical Tourism, and Leisure Tourism. As president of the Kerala Management Association, he launched the Youth at Level Next initiative, empowering young managers. Thank you so much, Mr. Bibu Punnooran, for being here with us on this very special day. And with that, may I humbly request all our panelists to kindly join with us on dais, please. Srimati Bindhu Menon, Shri Vivek, Krishna, Govind, Shri Johnson, Mathew, Srimati Laila, Sudeesh, Shri Vikas, Agarwal, and Shri Bibu, Punnooran. May I humbly request all of you to be kindly seated in correspondence with your pictures so that our audience would have an idea whom exactly they're talking to.
On the historic day of May 2, 1994, when Nelson Mandela claimed his victory in the first democratic elections in South Africa, he said, "I am your servant. I don't come to you as a leader, a servant leader who is not afraid to cause trouble." Wahala is a popular pidgin English word in Nigerian meaning trouble, disruption. We would all agree that change from the present is through innovations, disruptions, transformations that leads to the future. Good evening, expert panel and wonderful audience. Let's begin this panel discussion on the topic, Shaping India's Future, Collaborative Pathways for Innovation, Industry and Entrepreneurship. As India marches towards its vision for 2047, the year 2025 is a critical fulcrum. It is not just another point on the timeline, it is a year that will shape the trajectory of the next 2 decades, carving the path for a nation that seeks to balance rapid economic growth that will challenge posed by climate change. India stands at a crossroad where collaboration between industry, entrepreneurs, government and academia is more crucial than ever. As we aim to become a global hub for innovation and entrepreneurship, we need to understand how industries can drive this transformation and where the collaborative pathways lie. Today, we will get introduced to specific industries, explore their challenges, and discuss how innovation and entrepreneurship are reshaping their futures. We will also explore real-world examples of these collaborative pathways. And we have with us leaders who live by the virtue of leadership, as said by the Egyptian philosopher, "If you're a man who leads, who controls the affairs of the many, seek out every beneficent deed that your conduct may be blameless." These leaders embrace the African value system of Ubuntu, I am because we are. And their principles is Kulamo Isinto, which means they speak the language of people more than theirs. And they also believe that business as usual approach simply cannot deliver exceptional outcomes. Please welcome our multifaceted leaders here. You see the stage glowing. That's because every time a part of theirs is broken, they mend it with gold to be reborn stronger, bolder, and wiser, applying the Japanese principle of kintsugi. Put your hands together. Let's get to hear a 2 minutes opening remarks from a speaker, starting with Shri Vivek Krishna Govind, the incoming president of Thai Kerala, past president of Kerala Management Association, Rotary Kochi, past chairman of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, and the senior partner Varma and Varma. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and my good friends on stage, off stage. Wonderful opportunity for all of us has been provided, and at the outset, let me thank Jain University. This is a phenomenal event that has been put up. So all the representatives of Jain who are here, please pass on the message to the rest of the organizers. We haven't seen anything like this in Cochin. This is something phenomenal, and since the topic is on collaboration, I think it is also important that we've all worked together, different platforms, at different points in time, wearing different hats, but we've all worked together, and we've organized several events of what we consider as large scale, but this has really gone over and beyond anything that any of us have done before. So it's great for the ecosystem here, and I think that's the message which I would like to upfront put across, that, you know, collaborating with virtually everybody. The event Future Summit has actually collaborated with people from all possible verticals imaginable. I was looking through the entire schedule of the programs, the kind of multiple 6 or 7 tracks with every possible imaginable topic, experts from there, every large institution, every large association, be it corporate, be it industry body, the who's who has been invited from all across Kerala. And I think this is the power of collaboration. The fact that we are all sitting here, for a 4 o'clock session, we were asked to report at 3 o'clock and we were all sitting together and, having a chat. And, that is collaboration. And that interaction is what finally, leads to much bigger events as we move forward. We requested the moderator to, give us some kind of a message, because most of us don't know how to stop in 2 minutes. So hopefully Bindhu will tell us when our 2 minutes is up. But opening remarks is that I'm sure all of us would agree this is a phenomenal collaborative effort, and we thank the organizers for giving us this opportunity.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, dignitaries on the stage and off the stage. I'm Laila Sudeesh here, and I'm here mainly on behalf of the organization named WEN, Women Entrepreneur Network. We can see some beautiful ladies here who have come to support us. So, talking about collaboration, the era of competition is over and we have got on to collaboration. And I'm sure every single day we get to see the result of collaborations, and that's one thing which we see here, the continuous effort of every single person with 200 plus speakers. And yes, the magnanimity of this event is huge, and we are honored to be part of this organization. And in WEN, what we always believe is the strength and unity of our members, and it's only because of the strength of our members that we could conduct different events. Now, so thank you so much, and yes, we are also happy with this collaboration that is happening, and yeah, I'll be speaking more about this in the next event. Thank you.
Thank you, Laila. Laila is the president of Women Entrepreneurs Network, and she's the managing director of Care for Facility Management Systems. Thank you very much. Over to Mr. Johnson Mathew, the president of NIPM.
Good afternoon, panel members, ladies and gentlemen. As Vivek rightly said, this is definitely a great show. There are a lot of learnings for everyone, right? From students, entrepreneurs, professionals, everyone. There's a lot of learning in this great event. To set the tone, let me just share a few thoughts with you. As you know, our country is in the process of becoming a major global manufacturing hub by 2030. As you're aware, life expectancy in India is now 72 years. Need of the hour is enabling our people with the 21st century skills. Let's see, skills like digital skills, collaborative skills, positivity, adaptability, and flexibility. I think these are some skills that we need to focus in the coming 21st century. We need to foster a culture of experimentation leading to innovation. Our major issue we face in our state is the overseas migration of our youth. So one probable solution for this major issue is we can think of developing more entrepreneurs through structured orientation courses. We need to think of developing one entrepreneur in each house in Kerala. I'm just setting the tone. Thank you so much for your patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mathew. NIPM is basically the National Institute of Personal Management, which has got about 800 HR professionals. So he is the president, and then they conduct a number of events for HR professionals. So thank you very much for that. Over to Mr. Vikas Agarwal. Vikas is an entrepreneur and the executive director of BNI Trivandrum.
I think I'm the perfect specimen or example that you can find. But my name suggests that I'm not from here, and which is true, but I'm born here. So collaboration, industry, entrepreneurship, I'm a true mix of all three. And when we say that Vikas Agarwal is the executive director of BNI in Trivandrum, and they say I built BNI Trivandrum. Now, for you who don't know what BNI is Business Network International. It is a platform where we help each other, members especially, to grow their business through a structured referral network. And when they say that I built BNI, I think BNI has built me. And that's the attitude that most of the entrepreneurs over here, budding entrepreneurs, should also possess. Because once you get into the attitude of gratitude, I think life is much easier. You will find ways to pivot, you will find ways to innovate, and you will find ways to collaborate, because you're not at the center of taking all the time, you're at the center of giving all the time. And that makes all the difference in life. If you can think whether an action of yours or a work of yours can benefit somebody else in the world, I think that change can just affect your life. And I've been truly blessed in the position that I am to be Executive Director of BNI in Trivandrum and also run multiple businesses in Kochi. So that's my opening remarks. I think as starting entrepreneurs, when you're in college, you all want to fend for yourselves, which is okay. But at the back of the mind, please have an attitude of gratitude and see how you can help the society at large. Thank you so much.
Thank you. He also comes with experience in Indian Chamber of Commerce. He was the past president. Yeah, thank you very much. Now over to Mr. Bibu Punnooran. I have something to read. So he is the executive committee member, Kochi Chamber of Commerce Industry, chairman, Healthcare Committee, FICCI Kerala State Council, president, Kerala Management Association, and co-founder, director at Medivision Group of Diagnostic Centers.
Thank you, Bindhu. Good afternoon, everyone. My dear friends on the dais, off the dais, my dear students. Warm good afternoon to all of you. I don't know whether you've heard the word called flabbergasted, and I should say that I feel it that way because today afternoon I drove into the other venue thinking that it is that one, and then I was redirected to this particular venue. So I know the magnitude of this particular event that is taking place over the last few days, and which is to continue until tomorrow. That's what I believe. So it is not at all easy. As president of KMA, we just completed our KMAC, or the 42nd edition of the Kerala Management Annual Convention. So getting people to meet together for a convention is not an easy task, although you get the best of the speakers and everything. So an event of this scale spread over a period of 7 days and having the best of the best from industry, from academia, from music, you have the fun part of the whole thing. It is great, and I would like to thank all the organizers for organizing such a great event of this magnitude. And I'm especially thankful to all of you for also having invited me to be part of this great event, which of course is going to be part of history. Now coming to the topic, as my opening remarks, I can say that India is just evolving. So we have a long way to go, and my area of interest is healthcare, or my industry is healthcare basically. So in healthcare, we are just evolving, we have a long way to go. And in the healthcare sector, there's a lot to be done by way of collaboration. Lots of entrepreneurs are coming up with different verticals in healthcare. When you talk about healthcare, you're not just talking about hospitals, you're talking about so many different areas of healthcare, and that can be elaborated as we go along. So we'll take it from there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Unlocking the imaginable to solve the impossible, says Satya Nadella. I don't know how many of you heard. Future is about novel ideas. Future is about divergent thinking. Those who have gone through design thinking, they must be knowing what divergent thinking is all about, applying your thoughts, out-of-the-box thinking. I have something to show you today. It's an image. This is something which says, carry memories, not facts. Owais is here? Is Owais? Yeah. Right. Now, what happened is that we came up with this Nano Summit, and then we wanted our students to participate. So one of our students came in and said that, is there any possibility wherein we can come up with a storage room, or rather locker? because we have a lot of stalls coming in, a lot of people coming in. They might need to keep their bags and luggages over there. So can we do that? So this is a thought process. This is innovation. This is creativity. And those marketing collaterals are rather, he just did this printout, and then what he did is he stuck it all over the campus, and you won't believe the kind of response he has got, and hats off to that. So that is creativity we are looking about. And if you look at Jain campus, I would say 30 to 40% of our students are basically entrepreneurs. Thank you very much. Now moving on. Now let's see. We talk about innovation, we talk about creativity. Now all these leaders sitting here, as I told you, right? I mean, it's not just one. They're just your own enterprises, but then again, they're associated with any number of, be it management bodies or be it in a CSR-related communities. Now, these leaders, they would have also applied this creativity in their lives, right, in their enterprising roles. I have one question each. This is again a 2-minute question to set the context of this. My question is to Mr. Bibu. Yeah, the future of mankind, it rests firmly in your hands, said the UN Secretary. Now, why should private government sector care about sustainable development goals, and how can leaders basically accelerate the SDGs?
Well, the future of health is the future of the nation, because if you don't have a healthy nation, there is nothing called the future of the country. So, in order to be for a healthy nation, you need to have every individual who is healthy. And coming to that particular thing, we have the public sector as well as the private sector into healthcare. Now, in our country, the government is doing a lot to transition ourselves from an unhealthy nation to a healthy nation. Not only by way of, testings or hospitalizations or the patient care. Government is also trying to tell us that we should eat healthy foods. That's why the millet this revolution has come into the country. And the government is also telling us to take to yoga. As you know, our Honorable Prime Minister is promoting yoga like anything. So then there is this wellness side of the whole thing for the population. And then it comes to healthcare. So the healthcare per se, if you look at it, we are still predominantly in the health, in the private sector. But then in a state like Kerala, as an example, in the public sector domain also, healthcare is doing quite well. So I think all this put together, in the years to come, the future of health in our country is going to be much, much better. We are going to have a much more healthier nation. That's what I would like to tell you.
I still remember all those advertisements which used to come in earlier, and the milk, and also obviously yes, the government is supporting. And thank you very much for that. Now over to Mr. Vikas. To improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often. This is by Winston Churchill. Why is transformational leadership the key to SDGs as far as?
The two parts that you asked, key to transformation to SDGs. So SDGs is a very subjective topic as far as I would take it. Most of the time, whether it's the government, whether it's the private sector, whether it's an entrepreneur, we look at pinpointing responsibility rather than being accountable. And we very frequently and unknowingly use the words interchangeably, responsibility and accountability. I think the focus has to shift from responsibility to accountability, where every entrepreneur who's given a license for running an industry or starting a business, or whether it's tourism, whether it's medical, healthcare, or anything, manufacturing, the person giving the license also has to be accountable. And if that happens at the highest level, then probably we will see a nation which is going towards more sustainability, whether it's climate-wise or the standards of living. I'll give you a couple of examples. Singapore has made it prohibitively expensive to own cars and drive cars. And that's how they've decided that our generation will be healthier. The average lifespan of a Singaporean is about 82 years because they, on an average, walk about 5,000 steps a day without having to step on the treadmill. Now that's a decision that's taken by the government many years back, which is now resulting in the healthy population that they have today. That's one level of making things healthier. You could do this with manufacturing, where a license given by a wrong person should be sacked and highest level of accountability should be taken for him to have given that license without the required documents. We see very often in Kerala, like in Varkala, the cliff was collapsing because of the illegal construction. It has to happen with the local government's hand, otherwise it will never happen. So we have to have accountability at the top level to ensure that industry and the private sector work towards the SDGs that you mentioned.
Great, thank you. I would like to have a question to the audience. Mr. Vikas was talking about being responsible and being accountable. Can one of the students say here what is the difference between being responsible and being accountable? Anyone here? Any of the students? Maybe Mr. Vikas can give the answer, or should I? Being responsible is being responsible whatever you do. Being accountable is owning that, you be the owner of something and then, you march ahead. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for putting it. And over to Mr. Vivek Krishna. We should be seemingly impossible things, said Ratan Tata. How do you drive yourself to go over and above the mandate of excellence in your professional life?
I think that would sound pompous if I try to respond to that. So I'll try and add a tinge of humility there. No, I think end of the day, we all do our jobs and we all have our day jobs where certain things are mandated from you, certain things are expected from you. My day job is I'm a professional, I'm a chartered accountant by profession. So we have audit, we have consulting and various other things that we do. And there are certain values and ethos by which the organization which I represent, it's a 90-year-old organization. So we are all ingrained in that and we have all inculcated the values of the organization. So I wouldn't say I'm doing anything over and above what anyone else is doing. There are a lot of others who are doing much more in the organization. But outside of the day job, a few things which which give me some degree of joy or happiness is to also be associated with various other association industry bodies where I have built my friendships, where I've built so many of my close relationships, many of whom are present here and here. So that is the biggest takeaway, the way I see it. And in some little way, if I have contributed in making the world a better place, either through Rotary or through KMA or through TAI or through any of these other organizations that we've, and we've also seen so many of the Women Entrepreneurship Network, we've seen it grow. It has, played a very, very pivotal role. And the organization which I'm currently representing, which is TAI Kerala, where entrepreneurship is at the center of what TAI stands for, fostering entrepreneurship. So be it women entrepreneurship, be it youth entrepreneurship, there is a student vertical, there is very many sectors and segments where we feel there is conventionally there has been a stigma, especially from a Kerala perspective, towards entrepreneurs. If you see the 80s and early 90s, it's always an entrepreneur, especially large entrepreneurs are not, they are the villains in all the movies of the past. From there, the tone has changed, and till a few years ago, youngsters would tell us, that now we have the startup mission doing so well, and many. But earlier down the road, when the startup village was operating out of that water tank 10 years ago, youngsters would tell us that, you couldn't even get a proper marriage alliance if you say I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a CEO, or whatever, I'm a founder and all. These were all stigmas till a few years ago. Now that has changed, that has evolved. Today, society sees them now. You are very proudly saying that many of your students here are entrepreneurs. Few years ago, teachers would not have felt like saying that. Even if they're entrepreneurs, they'll hush them down saying, you go study, finish your classes. Entrepreneurship that can wait. So that stigma towards entrepreneurship has changed. And for that, I think collectively, the collaborative efforts of all the bodies which are on stage and all the others here, I think has helped. And I think a little drop from my side, if it has helped, then I'm glad.
Thank you very much. I have one question, which is, I would say, predominantly for the students. Over and above, we said, do you have a benchmark every day, or how is it you work on that? Because yesterday, we say yesterday should be better than, today should be better than yesterday. So is there any benchmark when you work on that every day, or is it something which, you have it?
Yeah, we all have benchmark in terms of deliverables. We also have benchmark in terms of people that we look up to. So there are people whom you aspire to be, there are people whom you have lived with, grown with, and there are others whom you see who are, people whom you look up to and say, okay, someday when I hang up my boots, I would like to leave a legacy of X or Y. So certainly, yes, there are benchmarks which we always look up to, and at all points, I'm sure there will be benchmarks of people who are, achieving a lot more than us. So these benchmarks definitely drive us to do better on a daily basis.
Thank you very much. Over to Ms. Laila. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. The famous person said, Steve Jobs, a mindset for innovation. Obviously, I think your facility management, your idea of coming up with this is an innovation, I would say. Now, to create what wants to be and not what was, that was the idea behind that. So how have you applied it in your entrepreneurial journey? Or rather, when you thought of coming up with this particular...
Yeah, so in facility management, of course, we have different areas that we cater into. So we have to think of, like, one thing which I have seen is people are ready to, people have to be enlightened as to how they can, like, say, for example, it's a basic thing. Earlier there used to be a concept of changing, whenever the sofas or whatever is dirty, you just change the upholstery and then, or either throw it away or change the upholstery. But then the regular cleaning or the regular upkeep of all these things, be it anything, any furniture in your home, or even if it's an AC, if all the regular maintenance are done, we needn't throw it away as such. We live in a era where we all believe in pre-loved goods. Right? So there's a lot of thrifting happening. All our clothes are given into, we are collected and we all give it into new homes. So why should we throw away and accumulate a lot of waste like this? So waste management is something which we really have to look into. Another thing is reducing the carbon print. Like there used to be this, I'm sure a lot of you must be knowing about the pest control system. So even that, we are enlightening our customers that these facilities are there, so you needn't live with all these creepy creatures in your home. So we have come up with this organic concept. Yes, the parents and the pet parents are really into this. They're all really fond of this, and they are ready to avail these kind of facilities. So these are very, very small, minute things that can be incorporated into your... See, my job is looking into all these basic cleaning and all the upkeep. So if these minute things are looked after, I'm sure you won't end up piling up a lot of waste or a lot of furniture just thrown away. And yeah, so let's do our bit for the environment to be a little more cleaner. Yeah.
Thank you. Yesterday we had a session, and then we had the speaker, Venu Rajabani sir here, and then we had a speaker, I don't remember her name, and she was talking about pre-loved things. And the sir was saying, I'm so sorry, I'm not into this generation of understanding pre-loved things. So pre-loved, yeah, that is
as
going to
said,
be, yeah, right.
Yeah, in our network itself, we women hold our things really close. So I'm sure a lot of them would connect to this. So whatever things we feel close to our heart, but we want it to be rehomed. And rehomed is another term that is in now. So we have a lot of groups like that, wherein we put in our products and then just the others choose it and then they take it. Like thrifting.
Right.
But again, the young generation can come up with applications, with apps to incorporate these kind of things and rehome or thrift or whatever, and bring in these kind of upcycling concepts. Upcycling is really much needed, and that's also another trend which is common to save the environment. So the youngsters can sure do their bit towards that. Yeah.
I don't know how many of the ladies sitting here would agree to that, because decluttering is definitely not, most of the ladies. Then again, time would change, right? Thank you. Now, over to Mr. Johnson Mathew. Sir, being an HR professional for the last almost 3 decades, if you find problems, they say, you might also find solutions, right? So how close is this to your leadership style?
Yeah. Basically, I look at problems as great opportunities. If it is a problem, it has got a clear solution also. Again, I believe in a leadership style where we need to practice walk the talk. We need to be fair and firm. And we need to work on the team's brainstorming ideas also. We need to get their ideas. So when you get ideas, you can come out with the best option. You have option A, option B, option C. So always you choose the best option and then you work on that. As you know, if you want to be very effective in what you do, you need to constantly update on what is happening. Whatever we are talking now, it may not be relevant tomorrow. That's the way things are changing. Even the recent development, DeepSeek, that has come so fast, ChatGPT is totally, getting sidelined, and the way that is taken on. Just last Monday only we got the information. I was told that software costs only 50 crore rupees, whereas in the US economy that has resulted almost some 85,000 lakh crore. That is the impact of that one that is created. See, that's the way things are changing. So in this fast-pacing world, we need to constantly update and equip ourselves. Otherwise, we are going to be not there. So in the leadership parlor, I think keep updated on what's happening.
It's changing. That's what you're saying. It's changing with the times, right? Yeah, right. Thank you very much, sir. Now, the topic is basically shaping the future. When we say shaping the future, it is preparing ourselves for tomorrow, today. When we say tomorrow, today, it's including the behavior or attitude. Psychologically, we'll have to go through a lot of changes to prepare for tomorrow. And one of the speakers, he was saying, are we ready? And then he said, no, we aren't ready for the future. We'll have to change the future. Right, moving on, right, there are two set of questions to the panelists here. One is predominantly for the students and the next one is for the industries. Let me start with a question to the students. Now over to Mr. Bibu to start with. What role can students basically play, in advancing sustainability in digital healthcare? And how can your labs, or basically the initiatives which you do from your labs, collaborate with them to drive the change?
See, students can do a lot right from, I'm not talking about these students alone, right from kindergarten onwards in shaping their own health, the future, the health of the society. Because if you look at it from that point of view, we have to start educating our students when they are small with regard to basic health etiquette. Okay. Now,
Just one or two pointers wherein we'll have to educate.
Okay, all right. Yeah, basic health parameters means now I just spoke about say yoga that is being now propagated by the government of India. So if that can be started maybe at very young ages, I don't think that was being done earlier. That can be started right from very young ages. I think that becomes a part of the habit of the students and our younger generation. And that can actually lead to a more healthy generation in the future. That's one, from what you just asked me, that is one way to do it. You talk about
the way we are incorporating it in the school life nowadays. I mean, most of the schools are into it. Yeah, right.
No, see, there are so many things. Basic hygiene, like, okay, washing your hands, okay, cleaning your teeth, dental hygiene. These are small things that can be taught and that can be incorporated into this thing. And you talk about sustainability. How much element of water? See, I think there is a saying that the future of wars between countries could be for water, not for petrol or oil or fossil fuels. So just imagine the kind of water that is being wasted by many of us. Okay, like you open a tap, you don't close it, you're washing your hand, and then you're closing it maybe a minute later. But you could save maybe a few liters of water if you do it properly. These kind of things are actually not taught to our students, so that should be done. And then again, coming to waste management or wastewater or any other kind of waste, throwing away waste into basically dustbins, not throwing it into the roads. Because as Indians, we've got that habit of doing it, or we've been grown with that. So these kind of things make a whole lot of impact on society, and that's what I would say. I would tell all our students to change, or that's the way in which you can yourself educate yourself to make India a better place to live in and save our planet Earth from many of these kind of things that I just talked about. I hope.
Yeah.
My
I have
answer
a
is clear.
question on that. We even yesterday, I think 2 or 3 sessions, we were all talking about the water wastage which is happening. But then again, there are so many things going around in Japan. They have this technique of saving the water which comes out of the wash basin, which goes into the, which can be reused. So why is it nothing like that? Why is it we have been only talking about, but I don't see any design around going where, save the water from one, and then we use it for the other. So why is it something like that is not happening? You wash your hands, and the same water which goes out can be used for your,
Recycling of water, yeah, those are steps
Right,
secondary to
right.
that. That's not for the students. You asked me specifically for the students. That's why I just told you. Students can do a lot in educating yourselves, educating your peers, educating your younger students, maybe your brothers and sisters at home, for doing and saving such kind of things. That's what I want to tell you.
maybe they can come up with some innovation.
Yeah, the innovation part of recycling the water and all that comes into the industry, and it comes later. But for your information, I'll tell you, in the healthcare system today, there are so many innovations that have come in. I believe there are about 950 startups in Kerala in the healthcare alone, and they are successful predominantly. So we can expect all this, in the future.
Thank you. Now over to Mr. Vikas. A very important topic as far as business is concerned. The world is all about networking. We all know that. So how can networking foster partnerships that connect students with industry leaders to co-create sustainable business solutions?
Oh, that's a loaded question. Networking, fostering partnerships with industry for co-creation business solutions. Okay, so we'll take that in parts. Networking probably is the most misused or misinterpreted word in today's world, because people believe networking is about dispensing, visiting cards and calling as many people as possible, and then probably getting your name there in the phone directory of the other person. But that's as far as away from the truth as possible. Networking is all about farming relationships. Your network has to be a mile wide and a mile deep. Usually people have the network which is mile wide but an inch deep, which means you know many people but they don't know you, probably by names. If you want a favor, if you want any help, it doesn't work. But business is not that way. Businesses work on relationships, businesses work on trust. And unless your network is a trustable network which is mile wide, mile deep, you will not get relationships. And for that, students have to do very simple things. You need to ask your parents, if they are into business, how can I help? How can I understand your business? If your parents are not employed, ask them why they are employed, where they are employed, and why they not chose life of entrepreneurship. At a very young age, I think the entrepreneurship development cells of colleges are there, but in schools we don't have a topic called entrepreneurship. We, just like Vivek mentioned earlier, it was a stigma to be called a businessman because you always felt that you were, sticking the blood out of people who are working for the people, especially in Kerala. But that mindset has to change, that entrepreneurs are the people who create wealth for the 90%. Of course, everybody cannot be an entrepreneur, because where will we find the people to work for these entrepreneurs if that's the case? Maybe machines will do that some point in time. But as of now, to create together relationships, you need to have a network which is trustable, and organizations like BNI just do that. They teach you how to network like a pro and collaborate it. In fact, BNI has a program called Business Voices, which I want to share over here, which is exactly what the industry and the academia wants, where we conduct our meetings in schools and colleges, maybe once a month, and then we teach them. We invite the parents of the students also to come and witness the meetings, because if there are 50 entrepreneurs in the room, when they speak about the business, they have a chance to sell to the audience whose parents are also there. Plus, they have a chance to collaborate with them in case they want to start up a business. So that's called business voices, and we want to do that. I'd be happy to bring that down to Jain University if that's possible.
Sure, thank you. Just a question to you. If the word networking has become a cliche, I don't know, right? What is the right word which can replace it?
I didn't say it's a cliche. I said it's misinterpreted because we use the word networking like a net sitting or net eating, but it's networking. So working is a part of networking. You cannot give business cards and expect business to come. You have to work to your network. So that's what I would like to say.
Stay with networking then.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Over to Mr. Johnson. How can HR policies be designed to ensure that students are prepared with the right skills for sustainable, innovation-driven careers in the emerging sectors?
Recently, I was going through a research report that says 92% of the existing jobs will get replaced within the next 5 years. So there is going to be a massive change coming up. Basically, the student community, when I interact with them, most of them, they pursue their career not based on their passion. It's very important that everyone, whether it is a student or a professional or anyone, they pursue their career based on their passion. The simple test for passion is 50% that the person can find out what their passion is, another 50% from their teachers, from their professors, from their other colleagues and other peers, they can find out. I remember our great singer Yesudas, had his parents decided to make him a doctor or an engineer, it would have been a different story. So my point here is we need to allow our children to find out their passion and pursue that, so that automatically they give the best. Because I've seen many people joining organizations and saying, this is not my place, this is not the job I've been looking forward to. So that passion is a very, very important aspect we need to consider. Along with that, in NIPM, National Institute of Personal Management, I'm the chair for that, we have initiated a particular forum called Campus to Corporate. Basically, when we meet the students for interview and all, we feel that they don't have the practical exposure. They talk a lot of theory. So all of you will agree, once you come to the corporate world, theory doesn't work there. You need practical sense. So we go to the campuses, we talk to the students about what's happening. For example, an initiative like learning and development, or a performance management, or a reward recognition program, how that is being practiced in an organization. So they can ask a lot of questions and they get a better feel. Tomorrow when they go for a campus placement interview, they'll be able to do a better job. So this is another initiative that we have launched. And adding on to the query that you raised, future is going to be totally a digital world. So people need to be acquainted with the digital world and AI, data analytics, all those has to be totally understood by the people. And they need to take initiative also to see that they are updated on that. We need to be constantly on a vigil, as I mentioned earlier, so that we are updated, we have the latest. Otherwise, even some of the business models that you see today may not exist tomorrow, because the story of the deep sea coming in, that itself is a great example. Many industries are going to collapse. It's going to disrupt the entire business community in a big way. So one, if you're aware, at least you can take some preventive step and move ahead. So that's what I would like to mention.
I think not being unemployed, but being unemployable, I think that's the major issue now, as you were saying. Now, thank you very much. Now, over to Ms. Laila. This is a tricky question, right? How can students contribute to making facility management more sustainable, and how can the industry integrate their ideas? This is between you and them. Yeah, right.
I guess already I gave a gist of it. Yeah. So the main pain point in facility management is getting skilled laborers.
Right.
So maybe they can come up with a concept to identify and bring a database of them so that companies can incorporate on a finger click. See, if I don't think many of us go to supermarkets anymore. We all rely on the big basket and all these kind of platforms. So we won't know. As said, change is the only constant. So these might come up. There are already platforms where you can get these kind of services on an app. So these are some things which they can incorporate for sure. And then, the green concept. As he said, Singapore is a lovely place. Why is it so? Because you see a lot of buildings which are already green. So they can contribute their bit to the climate by bringing in these kind of concepts. And I would also like to say there are enterprises coming up with these ideas. As he said, there is only theory being taught, right? So there are enterprises who are coming up with, very recently I happened to be for a program wherein they're bringing up a concept named Skill Bridge, wherein we have a lot of engineers who pass out. But when they are thrown into the world, they wouldn't know as to what and how and they can take it forward. So these kind of programs do equip them to see, to work, and then come out as, so that's much needed. I guess in our thing, in facility management for sure, we deal with very minute things also. So from school itself, the basic skill training, like changing a bulb, doing a little bit of your carpentry or whatever, those basic things, I guess in Japan, all these are taught, right? So our system has to be changed. We need to equip ourselves to deal with these basic skills. So these kind of small things, if it is incorporated here, there, everywhere, I'm sure we can bring in a change. And our youngsters, for sure, they are the most blessed. They're in the most blessed era because they have seen everything. So yeah.
Thank you very much for that. Now, as far as the campus to corporate programs are concerned, I think NIPM is doing, KMA was doing it, even I was a part of the campus to corporate program. I think that is a very good initiative by all the management bodies. Thank you very much for that. Now, over to Mr. Vivek is a very crucial question. Now, how can students be interested in entrepreneurship, be guided to focus on sustainable financial strategies for startups? So I know that it's a long one, but then again, you can just shorten it and then, share it.
No, I'll keep it very brief. No, personally, I think none of us here are in a position to guide the youngsters. That's the reality we need to actually understand. I think we're all in our 40s and 50s here, and we were all born here. Sorry, Laila, I had to disclose. And it's a whole new world there. All these guys, I can see Laila's son, my son is also here. And these are guys who are not going to listen to anything we say. We don't understand. So all the students here are probably around the same age, late teens and early 20s. And so what we can do is talk about some of the concepts, talk about, ESG and sustainability and carbon credit and the environment and the ozone and all the United Nations, principles and postulates. But end of the day, this is a generation which I think thinks far beyond what we can see. They have a different set of skill sets. They have probably a much better understanding about many of these things. So my point is probably things like, environmental awareness and all that, we need to learn from them. So let's unlearn and ask the, young ones here to teach us what we need to do. We probably need to be more responsible. We lived in a different world, so we are continuing to live in that world. They are living in a very different world. And so I think the onus is on them to teach us. It's my short answer.
Something which I would love to hear always. I would always say that they are 1 step, I would say 10 step ahead, right, students. So it's like we need to learn from them. So whenever I go to a classroom, it's like 100 people sitting there. For me, it's learning from 100 people. So that is how it happens. Thank you very much for that. Now, I think it's time for us to wrap up. So I would like to get a quick closing remarks from each of you, starting from Mr. Bibu. Yes, please.
I think that I'll just add on to what Vivek just said because it's fresh in my memory. Yesterday I was addressing a B school and one of the girls out there, the first year MBA student, she just came to me and said, "Sir, I'd like to start my own business." And I said, "You must have an idea of your business." And she said, I'm really, really disturbed by the quality of the air in Delhi. She's sitting in Kerala and then telling me the air in Delhi. And I want to start some company that can, take care of the waste that is being burned up in Haryana and other places. And the reason for that is the reason why Delhi air pollution is so much, the smog is so much. So if it can be burned at source and then there is no exhaust coming out from there, that would be a boon for society. No, what I wanted to tell you is this. See, that's the way these youngsters think today. So it is not for us to advise, and then it is only for us to guide them as to how to start that particular industry or do anything like that. So I wish you students sitting out there the very best, because you are living in an era which we were not living in, and the future is yours. And I'm sure that these kind of innovative ideas that come from your minds is going to take our country a long way into the future. I wish you all the best.
So I'm not in their generation, okay? I'm your generation. Just to clarify. Yeah. So I think what the academia and the industry needs to do is bring entrepreneurs as teachers. Why not? Your teacher should be wealthy. They should be dressed well. They should come in good cars, because the students look up to that. Then they want to become teachers, and when these entrepreneurs become teachers, and the students become those entrepreneurs, and then they come back to become teachers, then you have the entire cycle going where your level of education is going up, and then any concept that you want in the world, whether it's sustainability or entrepreneurship or SDGs, anything is possible, because then you have raised the entire strata of the society. The point that when I studied in Narsimhanji in Bombay, we had the industry leaders come. So McKinsey, big industry guys, Ogilvy, Mather, all the industry, honchos used to come and teach us. And that's the life that we lived, and that's why we want to be that way, and we've somehow reached there. So Jain University and any other campus should look at inviting more industry people to speak on a regular basis, just not for panel discussions, because a one-to-one interaction is as important as just one-way training. Today it's about understanding and questioning the why. If you understand the why, then the things have become very much easier, whatever the concept is. So that's my takeaway.
Yeah, if I summarize, basically I'll say, like the job, love the job, dream big. Again, be the best in whatever you do. Whatever you're doing, the task doesn't matter. Be the best in what you do. It can be anything. It can be a highly skilled job, it can be a medium level job, or just a miniature job. Be the best in what you do. And you will all agree with me, change is the only thing that is constant. That's all. Thank you.
So to the future leaders here, once again, I'm talking about when. We do have a mentorship program. So if you want any of us entrepreneurs to come and guide you, as he said, we need to unlearn things and learn from you. I'm scared now to say anything in that regard, but then we are always here to help you. We would love to see new concepts and the future really blooming with all these happy faces. All the very best to all of you.
Thank you. I'm also a member. They can contact me to campus.
Yeah, just a quick one. Have fun, basically. Enjoy your life. It's just one life. God alone knows for how long we're going to live. So ensure that you have fun, follow your passion, but ensure that your passion also gives you enough money to, keep the family going. And final word, thanks once again, Jain University. Future Summit, literally, you really forecasted what the future is looking like, and we would like to, drive with you, and not just in the Tesla, but even otherwise, to see what the future is. God bless you all.
Thank you from my side. Thank you, panelists. Hello. Yeah, from my side, I actually have two more questions, but there ain't time constraints. She came and stood here, and then she said, "No, it's time up."
I'm sorry for that.
I don't know how many of you now you've met, but then again, it is. I would say it's a very rare opportunity for each and every one of you sitting here to hear from them. So never miss any talk sessions or any sessions wherein they are present. Please do go attend. We are also trying to bring them. We are planning to open a KMA students chapter at the campus. So we see, them coming in. We see many people in KMA and TIE and all of the organizations coming in and speaking to the students. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bindhu ma'am. It was an absolute... Yes, sir. Please. Can you please pass on the mic to Bibu, sir?
Since you mentioned KMA, I would like to just tell the students that this particular year in KMA, we have this theme focusing on youth, and youth at level next, empowering young managers. That's our theme for this particular year. So I would request all of you students to join KMA as student members of KMA. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And as far as Jain University is concerned, we are the members of KMA. We are going to be the members of TIE. When we are associated with NIPM, we are members. So students, please use the opportunity. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Vidhu ma'am, for such a very interesting conversation. And I'm pretty sure everybody have got something to take back home. And yes, we will be moving ahead to the next session quite soon. But before that, may I humbly request our panelists to kindly accept our respect, a sign of our respect to you. So now may I humbly request Dr. Sanuja KV to kindly join with us on the stage. She is the assistant professor here at the Jain TMTB University. May I humbly request you to kindly hand over a gesture of appreciation to Mr. Vivek Krishna, please. Thank you so much for Vivek Krishna, sir, please. Thank you so much for all the valuable messages you have passed on, especially unlearning with each and every time something new has been invented or has been passed on. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Dr. Sanusha. And may I now humbly request Assistant Professor Dr. Balasubramanian K to kindly join with us on the stage and to express our appreciation to Ms. Laila Sudeesh. Thank you so much, Laila Sudeesh, for your very graceful presence and also encouraging the young women out here to be joining for the WEN internship program. Valuable knowledge indeed. And Balasubramanian sir, kindly do us the favor of honoring Mr. John Mathew sir as well. Mr. Johnson Mathew, can we kindly have you join with us? Kindly accept the souvenir of appreciation from our end. And one of the best takeaway he have given for us is find your passion and try to materialize it, because it's only benefits when you become the best in what you do. So always go ahead with your passion, and thank you so much once again for that. And thank you so much, Dr. Balasubramanian K as well. And now may I humbly request Dr. Lakshmi Mohan Kumar to kindly come forward and please express our respects to Mr. Vikas Agarwal for all the value he have added to today's session, especially for that plea to the Jain University to bring entrepreneurs as teachers, as that will be conditioning the students' mindset. What a great message. And thank you so much, Dr. Lakshmi Mohan Kumar, and may we kindly have Miss Aishwarya Mohanan join with us on the dais, please. And please help us express our appreciation to Mr. Bibu Punnooran. And may I take this opportunity to once again reiterate what he have mentioned, to address the problem you faces and find a solution for it and make that your innovative entrepreneurship plan. And finally, Ms. Bindhu Menon, can we kindly have you join with us for that smooth steering of this entire conversations. It was absolutely great the way you have asked the questions and brought about those wonderful answers from our panelists. And finally, may I humbly request our panelists to kindly join together for a group photograph. And ladies and gentlemen, let us once again burst into a big round of applause for these wonderful panelists and all the value that they have added to the Summit of Future track, the track being the entrepreneurship and the innovation.